Is there a chance that I'll learn how to create agents and how to use them to automate my network?
Some people want to go from step 1 up to step 8. Start small and build those wins up over time. Start thinking like a CCIE as early as possible. You're not yet there from a talent level, but it's important to build that mindset. We make those big changes that when someone is getting their CCNA and they always come to us and they say, what's next? We want them to think, why not look at CCNA automation or CCNA cybersecurity?
Everyone, David Bombal back with Ryan. Ryan, great to have you back on the show.
Always happy to be on the show. Always happy to be with you and your guests.
Now, huge changes have happened with Cisco Certs, and I'm hoping that you can address that, like what's happened, some of the concerns perhaps that have been raised. Take us on the journey. What's the changes that have taken place and why have they been done?
Oh, I am more than happy to do that. And again, being here at Cisco Live with you is literally one of my favorite things to come and do.
Appreciate it.
So I'm going to dive right in. So I think everybody that all of your followers know, we updated our DevNet certification program. So starting February 3rd, 2026, we announced it here, but it's going to take effect in February of 2026. If you have a DevNet Associate, DevNet Professional, and DevNet Expert are now moving to become CCNA Automation, CCNP Automation, and CCIE Automation. That's a big change.
It is.
We've had a lot of people come to us, kind of ask us why. You know this, that I've helped to build that program. It is near and dear to my heart. And in fact, when that program launched in 2020, we knew it was something that was totally unique and totally different. It was bringing software skills, programmability skills to the network. So everyone's been asking, what's the reason for the change? And the biggest reason for the change is we want every certification. Since I've been coming into this role, managing our portfolio, all of our certifications need to be self-evident. They need to be easy to understand, that anyone, anywhere knows exactly what you're getting your skills verified in. And so for us, we made 2 big changes this time. We solved the DevNet certification program, and we realized, you know what? We want to do 2 things. We want to make sure that, 1, everybody knows what skills you're validating, so we switched that to automation. But then the second thing is we know that CCNA, CCNP, and CCIE, those are global brands.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just immediately tell you expertise. They tell you know what you're doing. And so we wanted to not only update the cert, and I'll tell you too, we're updating the blueprints, we're updating the reflection of things like agentic AI and agentic automation. Like all of these things are being updated, but not just the blueprint, the name. So that way worldwide, when someone has that CCNA automation, that means you know at an NA level how to automate a network. And we did the same thing with the cybersecurity program. The cybersecurity program, or formerly CyberOps, also had its own naming convention. Totally changed that now to bring it also into the same thing. We want to mainstream it everywhere. So now Cybersecurity Associate and Professional is now CCNA Cybersecurity, CCNP Cybersecurity. We also think, given where many jobs are going to, that when someone is getting their CCNA and they always come to us and they say, what's next? We want them to think, why not look at CCNA Automation or CCNA cybersecurity, in addition to CCNP and where they could go and take that. Because there's tens of thousands of jobs that are open right now for cybersecurity. There are a similar amount of jobs open for automation because of AI. So we really wanted to not just update the program, we wanted to make it accessible and self-evident to everyone.
Wanted to ask you about the security certs versus the automation certs.
Oh, yeah.
The security content stays the same, is that right?
So the security content is staying the same. We recently gave both of those blueprints an update. What's different is how we are training people in that. So what's unique and cool is, I think everybody knows that when you think about our organization, you almost immediately think about certification. But how we build the program is from learning back to certifications. And so for cybersecurity in particular, we're actually doing more in hands-on labs and hands-on experiences.
Glad to hear that.
because cybersecurity is one of those things where concept is great, practice is better.
Exactly.
And so we've integrated the Capture the Flag platform directly into the Cisco U platform.
Nice.
And now there's actual special missions that you can do inside of Cisco U just to build up your cybersecurity skills. We're also finding new ways that we can create lab environments that simulate attacks that then you have to respond to. And we, of course, have expanded our ethical hacker certificate program. So if you're looking for red teaming skills, like you want to attack a network, or you want to build blue teaming skills, you want to learn how to respond to an attack, or you want to get that magic mushroom and become the Super Mario of cybersecurity and become that purple hat, then what I would totally recommend is you go and try to get both those skills. You build up those red team skills, build up those blue teaming skills, and really become the holistic cybersecurity professional that's required to not only secure the network, but to anticipate the attacks that you'll deal with.
But the automation tracks the content's changing, is that right?
Yeah, the automation track, we're actually going to be releasing blueprints on that in July.
Okay.
So for the associate level, that's largely staying the same. The professional level is really where we're going to be focusing in on many of the updates. And that's because the associate level does a really good job at explaining things like understanding and using APIs, software design methodology. Like if you're looking for the basics of programmability, that's where you want to start. But we're really spending a lot of time reinventing the professional level to really not only kind of take in things like infrastructure as code, best practices in using things like Terraform or Ansible, but to really go even further. With all of this talk about AI, everybody wants to know, hey, separate the hype, let's make it real. And in that certification, what we're really talking about is how does the modern network automation engineer use things like AI or agentic AI in their roles, and then what skills should then be validated there. So I'm going to ask everybody to stay tuned. That's going to be big news coming out in July, and we're going to have a ton of training between now and February of 2026 when that launches to really get everybody prepped and ready to go. And again, this is a program after my own heart. I want everybody to take this program. It's going to be the best.
I'm gonna push my luck with you. Is there a chance that I'll learn how to create agents and how to use them to automate my network in those certs?
Oh, I will tell you this right now. We can put the cert aside for a moment. So I know that you know this. We have been investing, as I said, learning is what we start with.
Yep.
We have been investing so much in tutorials on Cisco U. And I know that not everybody has had a chance to see them. I encourage everyone to go to cisco.cisco.com. You can go and find all of our tutorials there. They are free, short form learning that can help you build up any of your skills, and it also incorporates hands-on activities. We actually have a tutorial that starts to cover exactly what you're saying there, where you can build your own LLM on your local device, where you can start to experiment with AI agents. We are going to be flooding the zone with tons of new training that's going to be out there, and all of that is going to be at no cost, because we know that there's no way, if we say, hey, trust us that we can help you get started, and then we say, oh, but here, we got to start, you got to start by making a huge investment. No, we want to lower the bar of entry. And that's why we've built all of these tutorials. We have over 150 tutorials at this point that cover everything from AI and AI agents and even AI assistants to collaboration and wireless. So I can say that if you're looking for training on those things, you're looking to get started, we're going to be able to take care of you.
I love that. I mean, Kareem wrote the one with the AI agents, and that's a fantastic tutorial.
Yes. I mean, Kareem has been doing, Kareem, of course, one of our leaders on the technical advocacy team. He's been building so many great things. He's got an amazing tutorial called Generative AI and LLMs for the Network Engineer. I know I've brought this up before, but I can't say it enough. If you're a network engineer out there and you're hearing all of this, all of the voices in the wind on AI, and you're saying, why is that relevant to me? the thing that I can't wait to tell you is go take that tutorial, because not only is that going to make it incredibly relevant for you, it's also going to show you how you can apply it in your day-to-day life as a network engineer. We also have that paired with 12 hands-on tutorials that are all around using AI in a network engineering setting, from how to do better prompt engineering to even AI's effect in infrastructure as code. And again, all of those tutorials are at no cost. They will always be at no cost.
I love that.
And so anybody can get started with that type of information. And I know that I'm sure you have viewers that hear you can get started. And that can sometimes sound like a rug pull.
Yep.
Like, oh, you mean the first 3 things are free, or the first 5 minutes I try it are free. No, that one tutorial, generative AI and LLMs for the network engineer, that's 55 minutes. That's an entire learning course. That's an entire learning course that we provide. It is 100% free, and it doesn't just suddenly stop being free.
Love it.
So it is great for anybody looking to get started.
And people don't always realize Netacad is now part of that's also changed, right?
Yes, exactly. So that's a big change that we're talking about here at Cisco Live. So typically when I've come on your show, I have come on formerly as a representative of DevNet, recently as a representative of Learning and Certifications, and now we are one org. Learning and Certifications has merged with Netacad and Networking Academy worldwide. And so what's great about that is that now we have a single portfolio. Our new name is Learn with Cisco.
Okay.
And what's great about that is, so it's my job to help craft with all of the professionals that I get to work with, people like Kareem, craft an entire curriculum and certification portfolio from end to end. Well, now we are able to build holistic learning journeys that start at the CCST level, that place before CCNA, where I'm helping support the 15-year-old, the 16-year-old in a Netacad anywhere in the world, and build training programs all the way up to someone who is trying to get their CCIE. And so entry to expert, that's like my whole world right now. And we hope that over the coming months, your viewers, yourself, you're able to come to us more and more to find that training, all the way from basics, getting started, Netacad levels up to the top. And it's not just the things that we're able to bring from Netacad, like introduction to cybersecurity or introduction to modern AI into the learning and certifications world. It's also that ability to bring learning and certification skills, those upper, higher level skills, down into Netacad. Like, for example, we know that building a troubleshooting mindset is a critical thing.
Yep.
You know, I talk a lot. Well, last time I was on your show, I talked about the jetpack. And really, it's more like a jetpack. You are taking off, you're learning this thing and then landing over here, then taking off and learning this thing and landing over there.
Yes.
You know, how building a career is not like being on a train. You got to take off and land in new areas. If there's a jetpack that I'd say people need to put on their backs and take off, it's building that troubleshooting mindset. And we're able to bring that type of skill down now into the fundamentals of Netacad. So that way we're helping people learn how to think critically, learn how to think like problem solvers. Start thinking like a CCIE as early as possible. You're not yet there from a talent level, but it's important to build that mindset.
Ron, I like to push my luck with you because we know each other.
Yeah.
Will Cisco ever do a red teaming cert, or is the red teaming part embedded into the cybersecurity certs?
Oh, that's a great question. So what we've done is we've started our red teaming program with our ethical hacker certificate. And that's unique. We've never done a certificate before. The certificate is a lifetime certificate, but it really validates all those skills that you're talking about, those red teaming skills, pen testing. One of the things that is also unique about it is the only Cisco test that we provide that is outside of the IE that is entirely built on test of your practical skills.
I love that.
So when you want to get an ethical hacker certificate, it's not a multiple choice question. It's in fact, we actually put a challenge in front of you and we ask you to solve it. And you have a limited amount of time to be able to do it, but it is a real world example of what you might encounter from a red teaming experience standpoint, and then execute against that. Now, that entire program is paired with the new CCNA cybersecurity, CCNP cybersecurity. So if you want to build those red teaming skills, take that ethical hacker. Again, that course is available for free on netacad.com right now. You can start taking that right now. So is the first part of the cybersecurity CCNA, which is Introduction to Cybersecurity. Both of those courses are available for free on netacad.com right now. Red team, blue team.
It's NA, NP, IE got red teaming in it, but there's no plan to make an NP red teaming type cert, right?
Not right now. What I would say is that we're really focused on making sure that we just have first the comprehensive training on both red teaming and blue teaming skills. But long term, we know that that's a program that we're going to, as you know, we look at those programs annually.
Yeah.
And as the demands of the jobs change, so will our certifications. I know that, you go and ask our community, what's the number one reason you got certified? To get a job.
Exactly.
I don't think anybody learns BGP for fun, or I don't know, maybe it's Cisco Live, they probably do.
Come on.
But I will say that one of the things that we know that's super important is that the certs always align with jobs.
Yeah.
So once jobs demand it, it will be certified.
Ryan, you've covered a lot of stuff, but I'm assuming there's still more. Is that right?
Oh my gosh, there's so much more that we're bringing here to Cisco Live. So about 2 weeks ago, all of our new data center exams went live. So if you're a data center professional and you've been wondering when are we going to infuse the data center track with AI infrastructure, we've done it. So just like I said, a couple of weeks ago, all of our data center track, the blueprints, the training, everything has been updated to include AI infrastructure. I'll call out one thing in particular, which is DCID, which is data center design.
Yep.
That's now been updated with an entire domain all around designing for AI infrastructure. It lines up really nicely to what we put out last year with the CCDE AI infrastructure elective. The number one thing when people talk about AI and AI infrastructure is recognizing that it's not like spaghetti you can throw against the wall. Otherwise, it'd be the most expensive spaghetti you ever had in your life. You've got to be thinking about the business requirements and how AI infra will affect your bottom line savings or your top line revenue. And to do that, that is a design function. That is the ability to design using business requirements and then thinking of the architecture that you need to build and what Cisco products, the AI pods, UCSX, really fit into that solution. That's why we spent so much time in data center design. And in fact, we are betting so big on how design is such an important skill for the future, especially with the rise with AI, that we also released just a couple weeks ago, security design.
Nice.
And just like with data center design, which is focused on building and taking in those requirements and really crafting value engineering, if you will, the best AI infrastructure that you need for your business outcomes, we've done the same thing with security and also incorporated all of our expertise to really craft something that will build you the skills and then validate them on designing and implementing the best security architecture for what you need for your outcomes. And both of those programs are available now. All of that is available. We've also completely redone our collaboration track. I know we've had a lot of collaboration engineers who've been asking for that.
Yeah.
We haven't updated that in about 5 years. The entire collaboration track has been updated. It reflects many of the announcements that are being made now at Cisco Live. So if you're a collaboration engineer and you've been wondering, when are we going to go and merge on-prem, hybrid, cloud? When are we going to have a certification dedicated to the application space? That is what's been announced here. You can find all of those details out on the Cisco Learning Network. And all of that program, the collaboration program, launches February of 2026. And we have more things to come. We want everybody to stay tuned. Back in the day, David, we didn't update the certs except every 3 years.
Yeah.
Now, we look at that annually. Every single quarter, there are 2 certification tracks that we look at to determine because of jobs, because of what we hear from community and experts like yourself, we make those big changes. And we will always be seeking to have the training come out with those certifications. So that way you're not only getting the blueprints, you're getting the training that's going to connect with it.
Isn't there a course on Cisco U with AI and infrastructure?
Oh my gosh, yes. So we just got done with a Revup that was focused on data center. It was a DCAIE. It's called AI Infrastructure on Cisco Solution Essentials. It is the most popular course ever in the history of Cisco U. We launched it on this show with you. That course has had tens of thousands of people take it around the world. And it helped build AI infrastructure essentials training. Like, how do I build? What are AI infra basics? Now, at this event, we've launched two great things. First, we have launched a brand new Revup that's focused on continuing that AI infrastructure skill build out. So starting today, running all the way until August 7th, you can take AI Infrastructure Advanced Automation. You can find that by looking for the acronym DCAIAA. And that is going to build on what you learned in AI Infra Essentials. Now you're going to learn how to automate it. And that is also paired as a part of the Revup with CNIOS, which teaches you all of the programming that takes place on all of our Cisco hardware. Cisco iOS, XR, XE, you learn all of that. Those two together teach you a lot about programmability because you know me, I'm all about automation and programmability. What's more, that's a Revup that earns you 45 CE credits. So if you're a CCIE, that's like a third of the way there to getting your CCIE renewed with continuing education credits. And so that is an entire program that runs from now all the way to August 7th, 2026.
And for people who don't know, Revup, that's free, or is there a cost with that?
Revup is free. Every time we put out a Revup, it's when we take a premium course and make it available for a short amount of time, but you can still earn continuing education credits. What's more important, though, is you earn valuable skills.
Yeah.
You know, I don't pick those courses by throwing darts against the board. We actually interface with even senior members of Cisco's leadership team, and we work together to find skills that are the most strategic, that are the most needed in the industry. It's why previously we've done cybersecurity, why we did AI Infra Essentials, and why we're focused on AI Infra Automation and the CNIOS.
Fantastic to hear about all the changes and that you're listening to both experts. We often joke offline about grumpy old network engineers like myself, right? They're really good at giving feedback, very candid feedback, but it's good to get that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're getting a feedback from many people and you're adjusting the program. So I appreciate you doing that. Where can people go to learn? Let's say they starting out, I'm assuming it's NetAcad. Where can they go, like when they start out, or if they further in their journey? Where should we go to learn more?
Right on. I'll just say this. First, keep the feedback coming.
Yeah.
The art is in the revision, so keep it coming. Where to go to get started? It's the most important thing. First, if I could just say, some people want to go from step 1 up to step 8.
Of course.
And then they fall and they wonder, man, this is so hard. Start small, if I can just say. And the best way to start small is come to us on u.cisco.com if you're looking to build up some of your skills, especially for free using our tutorials. But if you're someone that's new, if you're someone that is just starting out in the world, if you're a neophyte to David Bombal here, what I would say is this: go to netacad.com. There's a great course called Network Fundamentals, and it's going to teach you what's a router, what's a switch, how does the internet work, why does it work. I cannot say enough. Start small and build those wins up over time. And, sooner or later, we're not going to be talking about how do you become an NA or where you are in your NP. I'll be looking at another CCIE joining the ranks.